Welcome to the Petty Foggers. Today we're doing a Halloween special.
Hello, and today on the Petty Foggers, as Sandy said, we are going to do a Halloween special.
And I have no idea what that means.
And I wore my special orange, which is great for Halloween. But
and I wore black.
Hey! Right here. All right. So today what we're going to do is a little something we haven't done before. It is going to be maybe a tutorial. So I did this look last year for Halloween. Oh. And it scared a lot of people. Maybe not you so much on camera, but a lot of people came up to me and were like, dude, yes, no, it's not real, people. Do you realize you maybe cut your face? So the whole point of this one is how to do a look that says maybe you were in a sword fight and you got slashed.
I was just wondering how to do that.
Totally. Maybe you were Tyrion and you're like, whoosh, right, across the face. Game of Thrones reference. Love. What you will need is, I got my little box of tricks. And this is just to show you that, seriously, this entire thing can be done super cheap, super easy. Isn't that fun? I did this one 2 years ago. Whew! Rocked it out. Okay, so what do I have here? Let's see. Fake skin, but I already have one open, so that's all you need. This is in case I need some more fake skin. Then, of course, just a brush, a little bit of powder later on to make it look natural and sit. Beauty blender, and let's see, that's really kind of it. And just some simple colors, green and purple, because it makes it look like a bruise. Some blood effect.
So when I drive home tonight, what you're saying is, if I get pulled over, the cops can be like, should I call 911?
Ma'am.
That's why I was driving like this.
Okay, and again, just some liquid skin makeup you have laying around. This helps with making it blend. And I think we are good. Maybe I'll need something more later, but that's it. Oh, here's some just more liquid skin, a little thicker than the first one. You can see, like all those beauty blogs. Take a look here. I don't know. First things first. So you ready?
Okay.
Okay, what we should do is, I'm going to do it so it looks like...
headband.
Nah, that's all right. You're going to do it like a slash, kind of like through this eye.
Okay.
Right? So first we're going to start with the fake skin. What you want to do, this stuff is sort of like Elmer's...
It looks like shrimp stuff that we just ate in the prior challenge.
Yeah, I would not put this in your mouth. It's kind of disgusting and gooey, but it works really, really well. So what you want to do is you want to make it look like the knife came right down here and it slashed the skin so it bulges on the edges. So you want to make like a mountain, and then you want to cut into the mountain where the cut went in. So, and you want to kind of taper it from the beginning. It's okay over the eyebrow because, you know, she's been around for a few hours and the eyebrow's now like, oh. But we're not going to cut into the eye. We're not going to cut into the eye because the blade did not go that far. Okay, but you can see here's the fake skin. And it's okay if you get some of these little like tendrily things because after all, it's a cut. I mean, it's not going to be the most beautiful thing on the face of the earth, right? So fake skin is like really gooey, sticky. So you want to, and the hotter you are, which, girl, I'm hot. So the worse it's going to be, like the stickier it'll be, and then it'll cool down. Okay, and you just want to blend that out some.
I feel like Kim Kardashian.
You look just like Kim Kardashian.
I do.
After she dated Chris Brown. And then we are going to now do the bottom part. So again, I'm going to kind of roll it out into a long sort of thing. The blade continued down here. Oh, but you won.
I did, because I was killing it. I've seen The Matrix. I know how to fight.
Thank you, Kate Moss. Not Kate Moss. Carrie Ann Moss. Carrie Ann Moss. Carrie Ann Moss.
The anorexic model from the 90s. Thank you, Kate Moss.
Thank you. I'm going to stretch your skin a little bit. I'm sorry. But for the best effect. Okay. Okay, see? So, and we're doing this a little bit quick. So if you were at home, you could perfect all of these edges and everything. But you're going to get the effect, and that's okay. Little chunks of skin is okay because maybe the blade chipped over the...
That's not a phrase you hear very often.
What?
Little chunks of skin are okay.
It is okay. I dated this dwarf once.
Oh. What's his name, Tyrion?
Maybe it was. GOT references go a long way these days, people, because I love it. Now let's take a look. So all I did was put the putty straight on. Pretty simple, right? You can't go wrong with that. I'm going to just go ahead along the edges and like feather it back. So I'm going to stretch the skin a little bit. And you can see already, see like this extra skin stuff? You're like, God, that looks gross. It's awesome. So you kind of don't want it to be too tall, because remember, it's like a sort of like beginning to heal, but still split.
I'm like the Hound.
You are, Sir Clegane. Okay. So we've got all that down. The next thing what we're going to do in step 2 is you just want to take something with a sharp edge. I mean, literally.
That sounds weird.
And then we're going to actually cut her face.
That's right. If you take a knife and just cut it, it's a lot more realistic.
So I'm just taking, like, here's the creepy skin cap, just a little edge, right? I'm going to cut down the middle, almost like you're making a long volcano instead of just a circle.
Sounds weird.
And this is where the blade would have hit. Now I'm going to take this, which is just a simple brush, the end of it, try to deepen the scar, make it a little bit wider. So here we are, and you can see the top, the bomb. This cut is going to look great, very sharp. The bottom one, like I said, we're kind of going to go for this effect of, by the time the blade here, when it got to here, she pulled her screen so it widened that cut. So, next thing's next. What we want to do is make this look like her natural skin. And we do that with just natural makeup, natural foundation, or natural colors. Pretty simple. And then we're going to come back with all the blood colors after. But first we want to blend this in. Also, the powders like this will help to set this. My hands from the fake skin, super sticky. So I'm going to wash them real quick. Be right back. Next up, Beauty Blender. Brush. Nothing special. Even though this is a very expensive brush, because
I'm the best.
I thought she would want it. So what we're going to do is start with this just sort of natural skin tone and just kind of go across it to make it look like nothing's there, even though it'll look bumpy, and then we'll come back later. So I'm going to put it onto my hand. I found that's the easiest. Beauty Blender, slightly moist, of course. If you ever want to, you can test on the hand. And you can see, totally not bad. That's going to blend in nicely. So we go here. I'm just going to come down the scar. Remember, the color doesn't have to be a perfect match because you're going to end up going over it with some blood effects, bruising effects, etc. Okay, now this is all still very sticky. So what I'm going to do next is with the powder. Now look at me, Sandy. Oh my God! Like, see, look, it's amazing. Look at the camera. Already you can see that the color doesn't matter as much as long as you're close as to getting it over. And I'll kind of rewind to show you before the color went on. And you can see how already it's beginning to look kind of freakishly natural. Okay, here we go. A little bit more color down here.
The Norwegian pale?
It is. So I think for the purpose of this tutorial, we are pretty close. I may have come back if it wasn't in the studio lights with the heat and tried to sharpen this. In fact, maybe I will. I'm going to come back with this and just try to sharpen this cut. I hope it doesn't stick. Oh, good. Perfect. Oh my gosh. Look, folks, that's amazing, right? It looks like a natural razor blade cut. Okay, next up, I'm going to take some powder. The powder is going to do several things. It's going to neutralize any gloss. So here we are, just a little bit of powder. This is nothing special. This is, in fact, I'll tell you what brand this is. Menage High Def. It's for men. I use it when I'm on camera just to kill the gloss, I'll be honest. So I'm going to use this. It's a very neutral color, great for us white folks. You would obviously want something different if you were working on any darker skin tones. Okay, so we're just going to go across. Look at me. People, done. If you want to call me, hire me for any movie effects. No, shoot, I just messed it up. So what you want to do at this point is you want to make it look as if there is definitely something funky going on, but maybe it happened years ago and it's kind of healed, right? So next up, what we're going to do is the fun part. So first, we want to create what I found is best is go ahead with the bruising and the broken blood vessels, and then come back with the wet blood.
Awesome.
So we're going to start with the bruising.
That sounds like my normal daily routine.
So let's start with some bruising. So the eye socket, extremely, extremely delicate skin. So you're always going to get heavy bruising. You know what? I might have to use the Beauty Blender. You're always going to get heavy bruising. Oh, I know what I'll do. See, real time, people? You can learn real time.
Don't mind that contact.
Do you have contacts?
Yeah.
This will melt contacts. So always a lot of purple. I'll just use my finger, screw it. Around the eye. And it's okay if a little bit of the liquid skin comes up. You can always mat it back down. This stage, you're not looking for perfection. You're just looking for like the idea of color. Because again, we're going to come over this and make it look much better. So a little purple there, a little bruising. The entire thing needs to be bruised out. So we're going to bruise. And the Beauty Blender is going to help make this go all the way. Right now we're going to Beauty Blend in. Look at me. And you have to remember, scars and bruises, there are lots of different colors. So it's not just purple, it's not just red, it's not about blue. You got yellow, because some parts are already beginning to start to heal just seconds after always. So I'm just going to kind of bounce this around. Okay, now I'm going to do some browns. And again, I wish I had a better brush, but I just don't. And I'm not using my fancy brush on this stuff.
Wait, you told me you were pro.
By pro, I mean... Okay, so next up, let's see. You know, I would like a little bit of the black. Or if you're just filming a music video or...
I'm sure it's safe.
Of course, why wouldn't it be?
It's made in China.
Now this one, I am going to try to get some off, because this is black. It's going to go on heavy and fast. But the eye is a really bruisey area. Okay, again, Beauty Blender, always going to be your friend. Okay, fun part. We're going to go ahead and start with the reds now. This time we're going to start the process of the bleeding. I feel like a witch doctor from the 1800s. Bring me the leeches.
Great.
I should have gotten some Q-tips, but I was lazy. Blender, always. Okay, and now the fun stuff. Liquid blood. So... we're learned from last year that it stays liquid for a long time. So if you use a lot, it will definitely like drip, which is cool if that's the effect you're looking for. I'm going to start slow.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to start slow, applying this, and then come back if I want more. Okay, now we're going to go for some drippage. See, I've got a lot more in the brush. We could definitely drip from the top because this will be a cool, fun... Oh, it's dripping all over my hand. Cool, fun effect once it starts. Definitely going to do the end because obviously the brows have sucked up a little bit of blood. Here, I said before, this is definitely one area where I want drippage. And then up here. Now, just trust me. I put the blobs. They're going to run. Don't rush it. It's like waiting for water to boil. You may want to just give it a path to follow. It will do its thing. I'm not going to do too much here because you don't want to mess up too much of her. Like, you don't want it to drip in her eyes. But here you definitely want to be like, oh, wow, what happened to you? Okay. All right. Next up, I'm going to clean this, and I'm going to do some spots. What this will help do is just kind of highlight a few areas of trauma. Especially here, a little bit here. Now I'm going to Beauty Blend these. I'm going to use an extremely sharp tip because I don't want to mess up what I just did with all of that wonderful dripping. But you can see how this really starts to paint a picture of somebody who's had a bad day.
Is it better than Botox?
It probably hurts less than Botox. But then I'm a baby. Look at it running. See, I told you, it will run. It's getting messy everywhere, and you're running as well, which is great. Okay, take a look at me. Okay, perfect. I think now we can come back and just do some pickup pieces. Look at me again. I don't think the top has had enough trauma. So I'm just going to lightly dip. And like I said, it's okay. You cannot mess it up, right? You're talking about someone who was just cut in the face. So it's not like you're going to go, oh my God. I cut you. That's pretty darn good. I'm thinking we're close. I don't want to mess it up. If I had my druthers, what I would take is some mascara. And probably, well, here, let's try this. Don't move. I'm going to go back to the black.
Back in black?
back in black. And what we're going to do is the effect of you've been crying because you're a girl. And we're going to give the impression of your mascara's been running because you've been hit with a knife in the face. Again, Beauty Blender. You know what I'm going to do? Before you got cut, you got hit. And this will be a great way to do a bruise. So if you didn't want to go through all this, you just want to do a bruise. A little bit of purple, a little bit of yellow. Too much yellow, but I will just lean it back. A little bit of the brown. The brown is always good to come over top. And then I'm going to take the ever smallest amount of black on top of that guy. And there, now she's been punched in the face.
Awesome.
I might even just take a tib of this natural color just to really blend some of the edges on the top to show how the blood runs down. And I think, hey, let's ask Mr. Producer B. Producer B, come take a look and tell me what you think. Again, quick and easy. I think that was less than 30 minutes. All right, so I'm getting a thumbs up. I'm not gonna touch your camera. Sandy, go ahead and take a look in your camera at what you look like.
Oh my gosh. That does look awful. Holy cow, but in a good way.
Isn't that fun? Again,
oh my
super
gosh,
quick.
You can see the bruise over there.
I know, just a little bit, right? You don't want to go too heavy because the skin color is natural tone when you go off.
Wow.
Super easy. Obviously, there's some flaws. You could come back and repair and all these things. But this is a great, fast look if you want to make an impression quick. And people are going to love it, right? Because this not your standard face mask, standard costume that you bought. You did this yourself. Less than probably $20 of stuff. And bam,
wow, it really
like that.
looks good. What happens if I go in a restaurant like this? Table for two?
Are you a pettifogger?
Do you need a Band-Aid? No, I'm good.
No. Why would you ask?
I'm good.
Oh, good. Look, I'm bleeding all over the table.
That's amazing.
That's cool, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. Thanks, guys. First tutorial for Halloween makeup. Next time, Sandy, maybe you will do my makeup.
Oh, scary.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Hey.
So here we're back. So we've gotten some comments that the red looked too red. So fair. Okay. So I'm just going to take the cheaters way out with the Beauty Blender and see maybe now it's been a couple of days. You've been hiding out in a, burned down
house.
Oh, Rihanna's house. Can I borrow some of your Neosporin? So that maybe, in fact, if you really wanted to dim it down, maybe if you came in with some of the brown and made it look much more like it has been a couple of days. This brown I've used it for years.
Is that Chris Brown?
Look, this is Chris Brown, Chris Purple, Chris Blue. Yeah.
The bruising makeup sponsored by Chris Brown.
Oh, no, now I see. Now I've gone too far because now the stuff is coming up. But let's imagine that. So maybe that's a little less dramatic. So take a look at that and see if that looks... I kind of like the wet blood look, but if you don't, this has a little drier effect.
That looks more like Day After. That looks like Walking Dead.
Fair. So Walking Dead. So
this is the Walking Dead. This right here, though, looks amazing. Isn't
that fun?
Yeah, that's cool.
Nothing more than, again, as I said, creepy skin. I think this was like $2.99.
Just another day at work.
All right, thanks, guys. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.